Hey guys, it's Magic the Gathering Matt here, Mr. MTG Matt, as it were. Um, and I am just wanting to hit you guys up with a video about my pre-release for Dragon's Maze, what I plan on doing for my deck, and then just kind of give you an idea of different strategies you can do for yours if you plan on doing any of the colors that I'm planning on doing. So, first off, it's coming up, I know, in 2 days. I'm making this actually Wednesday because what I want to do is, if you guys want me to talk about any other of the different guild combinations, just comment below. And if you see this before the pre-release event, just comment below, and I will try to do a video real fast about my different strategies for those color combinations. So, yeah, I encourage you guys to do that because I'm only going to talk about the ones that in this video. I'm only going to talk about the options that I'm going to have for mine, just for sake of time and for ease, because there's so many different combos. But anyway, my plan for my just some backstory is I did Azorius for the Return to Ravnica, and I got second. I finished second in my store for my pre-release. Actually lost on the very last turn. Like, it was 1-1. Last game, I would have won next turn, and he beat me, and I was just like, oh man. But because I've never won an actual like tournament that I've been in. So that was a bummer, but that's okay. And then for Gate Crash, I was Simic, and I got second to last. So, it was pretty perfect. I had really good, and then I did really terrible. So, if I follow that, I'll do, I'll get medium. I'll do like okay in this tournament. But my plan is to do Azorius. And the reason I really want to be Azorius for this is not because I did well in Return to Ravnica, but also because I really like the combinations that Azorius can have. First off, if you haven't noticed, or if you haven't done any research yet, what you do is you pick a guild, and then you'll get another guild from the opposite set that shares a color with that guild. So for instance, if I pick Azorius, I could have either Boros, Dimir, Orzhov, or Simic, because Simic and Dimir obviously have blue, and Orzhov and Boros have white. And they're from Gate Crash, and Azorius is obviously from Return to Ravnica. So, what I'm hoping for is I want to get Boros, because Azorius and Boros seems just ridiculous in Limited. I think that would be, it's the like nuts best combo. The nuts, sorry, well, not like nuts. Because the reason for that, my thinking, and this is all like theory crafting. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't play tested it. We'll see once I actually do draft. But Azorius has a lot of flyers, right? And detain mechanic causes a lot of tempo-based stuff. And in my pre-release, and when I drafted, the way I actually won a lot was just with flyers. I just fly over people's head. I'm hoping my camera's not lagging a little bit, maybe. But anyway, I fly over people's head and just hit them and then detain them and slow them down. So what I think with Boros, the added mechanic is Battalion would be awesome, because you have flyers that they can't kill really, and then you add to it your Boros guys that can then trigger. It'll help trigger Battalion, and you can just out aggro everybody, and then you can detain guys along the way to make sure your Boros guys, when their Battalion triggers, they can't even get blocked and stuff. Anyway, in my mind, this seems like the most powerful combo, because Boros was really powerful in Gate Crash, and Azorius was really powerful in Return to Ravnica. So I think combining them, they have good synergy together, and that's what I personally want to play. I think Dimir could be good, because you could cipher stuff on the flyers, which flying is pretty good for evasion in Limited, because a lot of different colors can't deal with it necessarily. Orzhov could be good in a very stalling deck, because Azorius does have a lot of stalling type with detain, and they do have a couple with high toughness. It would definitely be a slow deck, but it's possible. Simic, I almost kind of wanted to get Simic just to try to redeem myself from before, and I think it could be a pretty decent combo, just because there's a lot of tricks basically with Simic, and Azorius is very is kind of tricky too with how they try to fly over your head, and there's some decent amount of flyers um, and unblockables and stuff with Simic. I don't necessarily see a lot of synergies though between the two, so I don't know. Like I said, I think Boros and Azorius is going to be the best combo. We will see, but I will say that if you're some just like tips now in general, if you're what do you call it? If your shop on the back of the packs it tells you what your what the secret ally guild is. If your shops allow you to pick, that would be awesome. But I'm guessing that only smaller shops are gonna do that, and I don't know if my shop is. I actually asked ahead of time, and the guy's like, I don't know. So if you can pick, that'd be optimal. But again, they might not do that just for fairness and stuff. The other thing is don't be afraid to splash another color that isn't necessarily one of your picks. Like, let's say I pick Boros and I have Azorius and Boros. Maybe I or I undo a bunch. Like, my red cards suck, but I get a bunch of awesome like black cards. I shouldn't be afraid to maybe switch it and go, do black instead of red. Do like white, blue, black, like Esper. But, and the other thing is, and I don't know if this is even feasible, but we'll see, is if you might even be able to do 4 colors in this format. I really don't know yet. We'll find out if it's feasible or not. But I do know that the reason I did terrible on Simic, sorry, shaking the camera, shaking my desk that the camera's on. The reason I did terrible with Simic pre-release is because I was too afraid to splash red. And when I went home, because my pools were terrible for Simic, but I had some really awesome Gruul pools. But I was like, I didn't get enough good Gruul cards to like that I thought it would make it worth it. But when I went home, I put in like 5 of my like Gruul cards, and I was like goldfishing and like playtesting and stuff, and it was awesome. And I was just too afraid to do it, and that's something that I definitely want to caution people is not to be afraid to splash another color, because a lot of times in those events, like, you need to do that, and you have to get your best cards in your deck, because bombs are so important and limited because everyone's playing a lot of weak creatures. If you that one really good rare, there's not a lot of removal. You have that one really good rare, you can win because of that one card. So don't be afraid to splash. That would be my other big tip of a pre-release primer thing. Get your mana pool right, and don't be afraid to play cards that aren't as powerful. Like, your initial response might be, "Oh, this card isn't that good," but if you've got a card that passes the vanilla test, that's actually a pretty good card in limited. Like, I know some people see the vanilla test and they go, "Oh, I don't know. I guess it's okay," and that's just kind of natural because of how Magic cards have turned, into the power creep and everything. Some people look at the vanilla test and they go, it's a 4 for 4. I guess. That's a good card. Stuff like that. Bears 2/2 for 2. That's good. Like, it's not amazing. You don't want like your whole deck of it, but it's a good card, and it's efficient in limited, and efficiency is really important for limited. So those would be my primers. Like I said, if you want to ask me about specific guild combinations, like, please do in the comments, and I will make a video about it. I just didn't do it because it would be really long, But if you have that and you want me to like break down like specific strategies for those, like, I'll do that. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And this is Magic the Gathering Matt, and I'll see you next time.